I did, have thoughts of wanting to end it all. I wasn't talking about my feelings as much as I should have. I have a natural tendency to beat myself up over like the dumbest little things. You have to find happiness within yourself. That's where it all starts. Your happiness can't derive from other people.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Highest Version Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Philvong, and on this podcast, we talk about falling in love with the process of getting better every day, becoming the highest version of ourselves. Today's guest is Kevin Lee, a dear friend of mine who's also a UMass Amherst grad, and all the memories I have with him is nothing but good times, memorable moments, and me rolling on the floor laughing. But most importantly, what we're going to unpack today is his story of overcoming or having a better relationship with depression and anxiety and how that has shaped him to be the person that he is today. So without further ado, let's welcome my guest, Kevin Lee. What's up, bro? Dude, long time no see. It's been a minute, huh?
It's too long. I feel like you and I are a couple of friends who, once we met each other, we clicked very easily.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think we crossed paths enough.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because obviously we both went to UMass. Yes. And like there was only one night, and we literally talked about this before. One night that where we really crossed paths. We'll leave the details out of there, but like,
Let's say I don't remember it.
See what I'm saying?
My version of meeting Randy is a different place.
Crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's just I feel like after that, like we didn't really cross Emily paths, and then because our mutual friend is Billy, who was a past guest, like that's when we started to like really like bond and get to know each other. I mean, we were both in his wedding party,
right?
So that was quite a time too.
Yes, a very exhausting day, but so much fun.
Yeah,
gosh, beautiful day.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think the thing with us is like Billy. Billy being the person he is, he has a lot of really good friends that he's close with.
Yeah.
So I feel like realizing that we had that mutual friend, I think it was over FaceTime. I was talking to Billy, and then and you were like, "Oh my God, look who's at my house," and it was me. And so we were like, "How do we all know each other?" And so definitely going from there is how we become closer. But
yeah, man. Every time I'm with you, I'm always my side hurts or something like that because we're just laughing so much. You're a good time. You're always a good time, man. So I appreciate you a lot.
That's like my main goal in life. I just want to make people laugh, have a good time. Life can be a little bit worrying sometimes. It can be tough.
For sure.
It can be a challenge. But if you can find that little laughter in each day, that little, light from your friends, I think that's so worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you always have good timing on it. It's never like bad timing, you know what I mean? If something's like really serious or we're trying to figure shit out, I don't think you put it at that point, So all props to you on that one.
If I ever make a bad joke at a bad time, you gotta tell me.
Okay, I'll let you know. All right, man. Before we get into the questions, I just want to feature the Funko Pop of the episode, and I chose the great Stitch. And the reason why I chose Stitch is because Stitch is such a loving, positive, and he always just wants to have a good time. He's never like negative or negative energy like that. And you both are very happy, go lucky people. So yeah.
Appreciate that, Randy. Yeah. I think, you know what? That fits me a lot.
Have you seen did you grow up with Lilo and Stitch at all?
I did, for sure. I grew up watching. The big three is Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel. Yep. I watched all three of them.
Nice, yeah.
Cartoon Network and Disney Channel, definitely my favorite. So Lilo and Stitch was always up there, along with like Sweet Life, Zack and Cody.
Yep. And Brenda Song is, making a big comeback. Like,
yeah.
She came out of like, not that, I'm not sure if she's intentionally was on a hiatus, but like, I feel like she was at the time, or I didn't really hear her name in the past. 5 years, and then all of a sudden like she has a lot of stuff going on now. So
she's big into sports. I did not know that about her.
I did not know that either, bro. She knows like she's everything,
like, really into it.
Yeah She's like really passionate about it, and it's super dope to see. Just want to get your reflections on like my connection with you and Stitch, and obviously you watched the show, you watched the movie, like I guess how do you feel about me comparing you to Stitch?
I think it's very fitting. I can't say that I drew inspiration from Stitch growing up, but I think the way you put it is very, I do just want to have a good time. I like to be around family and friends that I love. That's what drives me in life. That what makes me happy. I do like to play gags and jokes all the time, as you know. But as you said, I never really want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Yeah.
I'll draw my lines. I won't cross any lines. At least I try not to. But yeah.
No, we know you're all in good intentions, man. All right, man. So let's get into it. We're actually gonna start off the deep end here.
Let's do it.
Offline, you mentioned to me that you've had your own experience with like depression and anxiety. So yeah, if you can start off like, what events led to that and how like you've been able to like deal with that moving forward.
It all started when I was born.
Oh, shit.
No, I mean, I honestly feel like, not like to put myself down, but I think I have a very common challenge with depression and anxiety, especially with depression. I think growing up, I was definitely one of those kids where, they had high expectations of you. And like, they were like, oh, he's the bright kid of the class. And then you just kind of fizzle out because you stop trying. Because everyone tells you you're so bright.
Yeah.
I ended up going to a top exam school in the state. And what happened was the first couple years, I was still kind of holding my own. But after that, it became such a toxic environment of where the teachers and faculty were kind of encouraging you to treat it as a privileged experience. Like you kind of had to be, they wanted you to feel so lucky to be there, which felt weird to me.
Yeah.
They also wanted us to be very competitive with like, oh, my academics are gonna be better than yours. Here's what I'm taking. What are you taking? Oh, that's not enough. Stuff like that. And so that's when I kind of fizzled out and I realized really like school and education is not really for me. But because of how we grew up, you can't really escape it.
Yeah.
And so that disconnect, there's a cognitive dissonance there where you're like, I have to be here. I have to show up every day. I have to do my work, but I hate it.
Yeah.
And so that kills all your passions.
Right.
And I always tell my friends growing up, I wanted to be an engineer. I went to UMass as an engineer. And by that time, I was already so fizzled out that I was not enjoying the topic anymore. Even though I'm still really like into engineering and technological news, I still work in IT, but just studying it was what killed it for me. And it got me to the point where I was like, if I can't even do this anymore, where am I gonna go? How am I gonna continue?
Yeah.
And it was tough. I did, have thoughts of wanting to end it all. I didn't really have a support system, or if I did have a support system, then it's on me. I didn't realize that I did have a support system. I wasn't talking about my feelings as much as I should have. But sophomore year of college, I would say, I started meeting a lot of close friends in my life, close people in my life. That's when I met my girlfriend too. And these people kind of uplifted me and made me realize I have value, that I have worth. I also was convinced to change my major and to maybe get a restart and a new look on life.
Yeah.
That helped a lot. After I changed my major, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying what I'm doing again. I don't have to be an engineer. I don't have to make $1 million by the time I'm 30 years old. But I'm happy now.
Yeah.
But with anxiety, like, I think a lot of anxiety comes from growing up as a child of immigrants.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like, that feeling of like when you're 7, 8 years old and your mom's like, I need you to talk to this grown ass man on the phone.
Yeah.
And tell them all my issues and you need to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
You dealt with that too.
Yeah, all the time, bro. I mean, my parents spoke like their English was like good enough to like, to actually it's great. It's like pretty, like they're pretty fluent.
Okay.
But the thing is that they like, I would still have to do that. Like the one memories that I would think about is like when my dad was in school or going for his bachelor's degree, because he only had his associate's degree up to that point. Like I had to like, I literally had to like explain like the book to him. Like I also had to read the book
Oh,
to
really?
explain things to him.
Wow.
And I was like, bro, I was like, why am I doing your whole report for you?
Yeah.
And then like I also had to be on like the phone, say if they were like talking to the phone service about like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
like why is my bill going up?
Yeah.
And then like like have them complain about it, but me still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I know what you feel. I know what you feel. I know what
Yeah.
you feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of pressure at a very young age, like.
In my perspective, I'd say so.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also just thinking, I feel like you come out of that experience two different ways, right?
Okay.
You're either you develop anxiety because there's so much pressure around it,
Yeah.
or you just become a master at it at such a young age.
That's true. That's
you're
true.
like, you're like, yeah, I could talk to anybody. I've been talking to strangers since I was 7. That's not me, unfortunately, but I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, bro. No, I feel like a lot of people really resonate with that in terms
Yeah.
of it's just we just come out with like we have to put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
I think putting pressure on yourself is good because it pushes you past your limits. But the way we grew up, the way that we were taught,
Yeah.
that was definitely unhealthy.
Yeah. It wasn't within our limits.
No, it was definitely not. I like in my junior year of high school, dude, I only got like 3 hours of sleep every night.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like I was balancing a lot. I was balancing basketball. I was balancing academics. But at this point, I was taking like AP stuff, right? And let me tell you, you know that term "work harder, not smarter."
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, work smarter, not harder.
Okay. Yeah.
Bro, I feel like all I know is to work hard. But when you work harder, like that, go on that side of that phrase.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more time versus like the people who do like work smarter, like they can do it more efficiently. I just didn't know efficiently. The thing I know is just like, oh, you just gotta put in a lot of time. That's all I know, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like your perspective on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like,
That's good. That's good. Dude, keep it that way. I don't think you want to go the other side. I just take the harder route to do things, which I have learned is not. It's not maybe
that's just
not
how,
the
like,
way.
you grew up though.
That's how I grew up. Yeah, they're like you just gotta put in the hours. Like, when I started playing sports, like you know, my dad and my brother put in my head about hey, like you gotta. You know, I don't care if it's raining or it's windy. Like, get your ass like out on the court and just try to
Damn.
yeah.
Can I ask you for basketball? Was that your idea or was that your parents wanted you to do a sport?
It's half my idea, half influenced by my brother.
Your brother.
So me and my brother are 6 years apart,
Oh.
and when he was on the high school basketball team, so I would go watch him play, and I'm like, oh, like I want to do the same thing. My brother really paved a social avenue for me, I guess you can say, because of he was like he's so extroverted, everybody loves him, so I got to observe like how he acts and how he like treats other people, which is very kind and like just like really down, like basically like just being really cool with people. So because of that, I was like, oh, like I also want to follow the same thing. I don't want to just be academics. I also want to be like that guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that came out what it was. Like I got to be president of my class, and like everybody knew me. Like my friends at the time would always be like, bro, I hate walking with you in the hallways. I was like, why? Because you say hi to fucking everybody. And I'm like, oh, what's wrong with that? You're like, oh, like I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. And then you're gonna be, oh hi. I'm like, bro.
That's hilarious, bro.
And
You're suffering from success.
No. I'm not trying to say that to like be like, oh, I was the popular guy and stuff like that. I think that's just how I was, and I had a conversation with my friend last night, this past guest that another guest that was on the pod, and he was talking about, oh, like why do you think people like us like develop these people pleasing tendencies? And I think honestly, it's just like everybody wants to be liked. You know, no one wants to be that person that's like not liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I gave, it's probably a repeat, but I was literally like if you were to come to me and be like, hey, like one of our mutual friends doesn't like me, I'm like, why? Why would they say such a thing?
Yeah,
Wait, let me know. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Yeah, I'd be like freaking out about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because of that kind of, even from a primal standpoint of, hey, like we just want to be part of something, you know?
Yeah. I totally get that. Definitely like throughout high school, I have a complicated relationships in high school, like between like friends and dating, but I feel like I was always just pretending to be someone. You know, I just wanted to be. I was always kind of a goofball. That's been like a permanent thing in my life.
Yeah.
But I feel like I kind of got into being that because I wanted people to enjoy my presence.
Yeah.
You know, because my mom always tells me like growing up as a like before school, she was very worried about me because I didn't speak. I didn't talk to anybody. I was always like angry at everyone. I didn't like people touching me apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like I was kind of maybe 7 or 8 years old when I had that flip where I was like, you know, suddenly I want people to like me and I want people to talk to me and stuff like that.
Do you remember what event that made your brain switch like that, or you just all of a sudden was just like, yeah, let me just go this way?
I remember in no, what am I saying? I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
But I was like in music class and we had a super nice teacher. His name was Mr. Green. And he would play the piano for us, and then I think he told us he was like a composer for some like horror movie scores or something like that.
Interesting.
And so he would play these like horror kind of themes on the piano and just like to get the kids like active. Right?
Yeah.
Get them like screaming and stuff like that. So it was at the end of music class one day, and he's doing the stuff, and I'm just like participating with the class. I'm like screaming and stuff. And then my homeroom teacher comes down to get us, and she's like looking at me, and she's like, "Kevin, I've never seen this way. That you're always like so angry at the world. This is so lovely to see."
You screaming?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah. She wanted me to be terrorized 24/7.
She's like, I hate this kid. I'm so glad he's screaming.
Right? But after that, I was like, you know, like, why am I so serious all the time? And like, that's
All right,
not
young
even,
Joker.
That's not even the first time it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, not the last time it happened. Like in 5th grade or something, we had in our English class, we were supposed to like pick a poem and like present it to the class, and you would talk about like the literary devices used or whatever, boring shit. But I remember I picked a good ass poem. It was like what's it called? The Road Less
Traveled.
Yeah, by Robert Frost. And I was sitting up there and going through it, and no, actually it was before I started. My teacher was looking at me sitting on the stool in front of the class. I was just waiting for the class to settle down, be quiet so I could start. She goes, "Why are you so mad?"
Bro.
I'm like, damn,
You're like,
this is not fucking face. Yeah. I was born like this. Miss Tran.
oh shit. Bro, honestly, for everyone that has an RBF, they probably feel your pain right now. they probably resonate with that so much. And like, yeah, bro, that's fucking crazy. Why you so mad is a crazy thing to say to a kid.
Right?
That's a crazy thing to say to a kid. Holy shit. Oh,
I don't even know who I am yet at that
yeah,
point.
I know. Literally, you're like, you look at yourself in the mirror, like, am I mad? You're like, I don't feel mad.
Yeah. My eyebrows a little tense, I guess.
You got the crazy eyebrows as a young.
Maybe I did.
Oh,
go
shit.
back and look.
Oh shit, man. All right, I hate to stop the laughter, but I do want to kind of deep dive a little bit more into, you know, obviously you have the pressures of faculty, you have the pressures of your parents to do well. Mm-hmm. Do you recollect like one of like the bigger events in high school where you kind of felt that competitiveness, or just that, you know, from just your peers, not, or let me rephrase. So basically what I'm trying to ask is, was there an event that like where you're like, oh, like when you finally realize like, oh, this shit's like toxic, you know?
Yeah. I would say the first thing that comes to mind is when we went into my high school, they made such a big deal out of like the graduation rate. And they were like, oh, we have like out of a class of like 450 people, for example, they'd say like 449 people graduate. You don't want to be that one. I'm like, you know, at that point in my life, I was already in the stages of like, education is not for everyone. Like, I think everyone should get an education, but it's not for everyone. And maybe the school's pressure is not for everyone either.
Yeah.
But for them to like make you seem like you're so much lesser just for being that one and like the statistic is only did not graduate from that high school.
Yeah.
It's not like they dropped out and like freaking went to jail.
Yeah.
They just went to another school.
Really? That was it, bro?
That's what I'm thinking. It's probably they just transferred to a different freaking school.
Yeah. I also feel like that stat is like so unrealistic. How can one yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, it was like that. And I was like, so if I, like, let's say I don't even like succumb to the pressure of the school. Let's say I just move towns.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna clown me for that?
Oh, you're that one statistic about it? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Oh my God.
And for me, it was like, why do I try so hard, and why do I put in so much effort and like beat myself up so much just to be middle of the pack here or less, and to be ridiculed for it?
Yeah.
It's really unfair to do that to children.
Literally. Yeah.
And for me, that kind of triggered the chain reaction of everything, being like, I started being so like skeptical of everyone, and that made me feel like my brain wasn't wired right, because I feel like everyone else was, not the students obviously, I think other students felt probably the same way as I did.
Yeah.
I know for sure a lot of them did, but the way that the adults in the room were talking, it made me feel like my brain wasn't wired right. So I was like, I'm not thinking right, something's not good with me. Is my mental health okay? And that's where I kind of spiraled.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you not only felt like you weren't a part of this school, or like, felt like an outlier because people were thinking that all this is okay. Like,
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. What were the harsh things that you kind of said to yourself or did to yourself during that time?
I mean, I definitely had a lot of intrusive thoughts about like if I was walking home from school, I would be like, man, this month has been so rough. What if I just like ran into the street, ran into traffic, or like I'd come home and like a memory that sits with me is like, I remember there was this, I don't even know what year it was, but there was this one year I remember vividly, I was in my bathroom and like staring down a jug of bleach because I was so prepared to just like end it there. I'm very glad I didn't, because that sounds like a very painful way to go.
It's a very slow way to go. Yeah.
There's definitely better ways.
We are not doing that. We are not supporting any of that.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. I'm gonna get your ass in trouble.
No, it's good. But I mean, I'm glad you didn't, and I'm glad you are here.
Yeah.
But was there anyone in high school that, kind of just helped you realize that, like, hey, like, either you need help, or like, hey, like, this isn't, like, it's okay that you're thinking this way?
Not that it cured my depression or whatever, but a large wake up call for me was, my brother was going through a very similar situation when he was about to graduate. And
did y'all go to the same school, or is this college?
yeah, we went to the same school.
Okay.
And you know how people say like when you're in your teens, you go through some troublesome years, you might like run away from home, things like that. So that's like the kind of stuff that my brother was thinking about. And without getting into too much detail about what he did, what I was looking at was how it affected my family and how it affected my mom especially. She was just so heartbroken over the fact that her son felt this way, and the fact that she didn't feel like she was helping, even though she was doing her darn best to provide us with whatever we needed.
Yeah.
She never like forced us to do anything that we didn't want to do. She, my mother's a great cook, so we had very little to complain about at home. You
Yeah.
know, money aside, we were happy kids
Yeah.
at home. So for her to feel that way after her own troublesome life, it felt very unfair for me. And I felt like I wanted to be sure that I didn't put my mom through the same stuff, because I had concerns that my mom would be the one that wouldn't make it out if I had gone through that too.
Yeah.
And this comes back to us being people pleasers.
Yeah.
I pull myself out of my struggles just so that someone else doesn't go through the same shit.
Yeah. No, for real. I actually resonate with that too, because when growing up, like my parents didn't agree with some of my brother's choices or how he approached like academics, and so because of that, they were like, oh, like you have to make sure you are 100% like, you know, like with your academics, that's your main focus. So it was kind of like, oh, because of what happened with my older brother, you know, that kind of affected me. That affected me. And, you know, at the time, I didn't think like my brother was like that. I thought I was like, oh, he's doing his best. He's living his life. Like he's the only doing like
Just being a guy.
he's literally trying his best. And I'm pretty sure he felt a lot of pressure, and I felt bad that he had to like go through that. But he kept to himself. He kept true to himself, which is something that I'm really honorable about to him. But I think factually, like I can't say that like because of his choices that didn't like affect me too. You know what I mean? So that's where I also became people pleaser. I don't think that was the main factor. The main factor was my parents telling me about how they escaped war, their stories, what they did to come to this country. And honestly, like for the kind of childhood that I had, like, yeah, like in my parents' eyes, they're probably like, what do these kids have anything to complain about?
True, yeah.
We grew up like middle class, like in a very good town, like, yeah. And then I remember when I told my mom about how I wanted to go to therapy, she also freaked out too.
Really?
She was just like, did I do something wrong? Like, why? Like, cause to her, it's like, oh, like I thought I gave my kids everything.
Yeah.
Right? So like, why are they struggling mentally in this way? And you know how Asian parents go, they're like, oh, like just get over it, or you know, the most non-helpful ways to get over stuff. But yeah, me and my mom had to have that conversation about me reassuring her like, hey, like this is not on you. This is like, well, sort of, but unintentionally. Yeah, it's unintentional, right? It's just like they only knew what how their parents raised them, so they're like, oh, either I'm doing the same or doing opposite, right?
Right.
So I think now it's just like, you know, giving your parents that grace, like, hey, like they were trying to figure shit out too. Like they were trying their best. Did we agree with it? Obviously not. But if you could go back and tell them how to do things differently, maybe. But you know, they were trying their best, and just that I had that conversation to reassure my mom that you know, she wasn't doing anything necessarily wrong at the time.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely like a both a generational difference and a cultural difference. You know, immigrants who grew up, you know, escaping war, for example, or my parents, like they grew up very, very, very poor on farms, and like were like starving their whole lives. So like they don't have this concept of depression, anxiety. Right? They're like, fuck it, we're going through each day. Like they view mental health as like, you know, you're not busy enough. You need more work so that you don't have time to think about exactly. And then like in terms of raising your children, and you know, like you said, your mother was providing everything she could, but she was still confused about like, well, why do you need to go to therapy if I was doing such a good job at home? Yeah. Like it's just the resources that are available today are not the same as what was available back then.
Oh yeah,
you know?
for sure.
They can't just look up and see how other people in different cultures or in different even financial settings are raising their kids. They just know what, as you said, what they grew up as.
Yeah.
And so they're just gonna reflect that onto you. But I'm sure you've seen online, like, breaking the generational trauma lines. That's really on us. I don't know if you're gonna have kids one day. I don't know if I will have kids one day either. But I know if I am ever taking care of someone's kids, I'm not gonna be like blaming them for everything. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you can't do this ever. You have to do this. I'm just gonna say, hey man, sometimes the situation calls for this, and this is not that situation.
yeah, bro. No, I feel you on that. It's like how my parents raised me, and like I definitely will take some time to be like, hey, like this is how I want to raise my kids. But then again, it's just like I don't know what it's like. I have been able to luckily observe my partner and all her sisters. She has so many nephews and nieces, and seeing how they interact, like, you know, it's all beautiful, it's all lovely. So I'm like, oh, like maybe that's the way, but you know, you just won't know until you have a kid. Michelle's like, she's like, I'm definitely gonna be the disciplined one. I was like, yep, if we have a daughter, it's over, bro. It's over. I'm gonna get stepped on, walked all over. I'm like, what do you need? But then I'd be like, oh, like if she wants something, like I was like, just go ask your mom. I was like, I don't even know. Okay, I'll always say yes to you.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Kev. So obviously, as you were going through it, like this is a long period of time now that you're going through depression, anxiety. You have, you know, those thoughts of ending it all. What were the ways that you like coped with it at this time? And I assume there were probably unhealthy ways.
Coped with it?
Yeah.
It was all unhealthy. I mean, self-harm is where it started. And I mean, it took me longer than I would like to admit to realize that was stupid. I think what I really fell into was playing video games. I mean, I always kind of played video games growing up, but at this stage of my life, I was really like using it as a tool to like distract myself and take time away from my day, as opposed to just relaxing at the end of the day, which is what I would prefer to use gaming for.
Yeah.
And then I think in college, freshman year, what I did was, which was also a horrible decision, was I stopped going to classes because it made me so depressed just to be in those engineering classes.
Oh shit, damn.
And the reason I changed my major, by the way, is because my grades got so bad. They suspended me for a semester, and I had to write a letter to repeal it or appeal it.
Yeah.
And then in that letter, I was basically saying like, oh, you know, like I was not like well equipped to handle like a college semester on my own. You know, like just give me another chance. I promise I will actually communicate with my professors and everything. I'll do all the work, whatever you want. I'll retake all the courses. And they said, okay. And then 3 weeks later, I was back on campus.
Yeah.
And I changed my major. I was like, F you. I'm not failing again.
Yeah, hell no. Wait, so what'd you change to? You went from engineering to...
I went to econ.
I think I remember you telling me this.
I went to econ, and then I picked up an IT minor.
Okay.
At the time, I honestly did not know I wanted to do IT. I kind of had an idea of what I was good at. I really changed to econ so that I could graduate quick.
Yeah.
And when I was taking econ, I was like just so uninterested, which I had the opposite issue of engineering, actually. Engineering, I was interested, but, you know...
The textbook wasn't.
Yeah, it was just sapping it out of me.
Yeah.
Econ, I was never interested. But, like, the econ course load is a lot of just read this textbook and then write a paper about it, right? I happen to be really good at writing papers, so I was cruising through econ.
Nice.
And just focusing on that IT minor. That's why I picked it up.
So who I guess, in like what... Because I feel like IT at the time that... Obviously, well, you're like a year older than me. But like IT, like I feel like was still like a new concept course-wise. I guess what inspired you to like what put IT in your head or planted that seed?
So UMass actually does not Actually, I don't know if they offer it now, but when we were there,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
did not have an IT major.
Mm.
You would have to go kind of into computer science.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I was thinking really was like, what am I already good at when I was trying to think of a new major?
Mm-hmm.
I already know I'm good at fixing things.
Yeah.
I've always been fixing like TVs, computers, anything technology wise,
Yeah.
like in my life.
Yeah.
You know how like every family has that one guy? That's me.
Yeah. Or your parents are like, hey, how do you my Facebook is broken. Can you fix this? I was like, what's
Exactly.
broken about it? The notification won't go away. I was like, just click.
Just open it.
The number won't go away. I was
Yeah.
like, just click on all the things.
Stop following this page. What is this? Yeah. But yeah, I kind of knew I was good at fixing things. I'm always on a computer anyways. So yeah, that's what made me want to do IT. I was like, I think I would be good at it.
Yeah.
And I like being around computers. I like helping people. So my current role as a help desk is perfect for me.
Yeah.
I like computers and I like helping people. So I am quite happy at my job. So I'm very glad about that change.
That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you on that standpoint.
Thank
The
you.
help desk, the volume of stuff, man.
Yeah. My org is 250-ish people.
Okay.
The IT team is just 3 people. And I'm the only designated help desk.
Oh my God.
The other 2 is a manager and a director.
Wait, so you're handling all those tickets by yourself?
The director helps out a lot. He's
Okay.
a super, super nice guy. So, I mean, it's still like 150.
Dude,
Probably.
have you gotten like such a ridiculous ticket once or no? You have to, yeah.
All the time. Yeah. But I try not to judge people because I'm like,
You don't know how old they are, like if they're well versed with technology or not.
no, the issue is I do know how old they are.
Oh, that's
So
true.
that's why.
That's true. That's true. You do know.
So I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. If you want to call me every day to fix the same issue every day, fuck it, I'm here for you.
My password doesn't work. Are you putting in the right
man.
password?
So reset your password again.
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Exactly. Randy knows the tricks.
I've been through my share. All right, man. So let's fast forward to where you found that good group of friends. You found your girlfriend. So what things like really helped you overcome your relationship with depression and anxiety? That could be like a physical activity or maybe a phrase that has helped you. Like what was the thing that really helped you the most?
I think.
I'm sorry, what did they say to you? Or
Yeah.
what did those group of people do for you that really helped?
I think in general, it's not that they like did one thing or said one thing in specific, but rather the love that I felt from them every single day that I hung out with them. I felt like I needed to be there the next day. I needed to be there for them. Not that they needed me. No
Yeah,
one needs me in their life, but I felt like I was making them happy. And these were friends that like would hit me up first to hang out, which I wasn't really used to at the time. And so I think that maybe if I had to pick something specifically, like actively getting invited to things, I felt like just meant so much to me. Like, oh, you want me to be there. Like, I'm not just tagging along.
Yeah.
It's not just proximity. You want me to be there.
Hey, you want to come?
Right? They're like messaging me on Facebook. They're not just knocking on my door. But I think another thing is definitely thinking about like my age. This is a little bit dark, but I always kind of felt like I wanted to end my life by the time I was 25. I kind of just wanted to feel like I'll just enjoy my life right now, and then when I hit 25, fuck it, it's over. I don't have to worry about anything anymore. But the way I was talking to like my friends and obviously my girlfriend, they're like, well, I'm probably not going to get married until I'm after 25.
Yeah.
And I want you at my wedding. Things like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I want you to like meet my kids one day, man. And then I'd be thinking like, yeah, I guess I can make it to then.
Oh, shit. We're gonna keep giving you stuff longer and longer. Oh shit, man. But why 25? Was because you thought that was the old age, like old?
No, I didn't think it was old. I knew it was a young age, a very young age.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you. Definitely at the time before I changed my major, part of it was I felt like I wasn't gonna graduate college, and 25 is right post college age, where everyone's like working and getting into their own passions. And at that time, I was like, man, I'm running out of time. I don't have a passion.
It's okay. You don't have a passion though. It's okay. But I'm glad that obviously your friends were there to be like, hey, like you are needed. Obviously going into freshman year, was it just hard to develop like a good group of people at that time? Like I'm just trying to like put together of like
why sophomore year?
Yeah. I mean, obviously freshman year we're still trying to figure out like who our real friends are and all that stuff. Yeah,
I think that was probably the largest part of it. Especially like I'm such a homebody. Like even in high school, I wasn't like really going out to hang out much. I was still just mostly at home. So all of a sudden, like going from being at home all the time with my family to being at UMass
on campus,
like very far away, and not having anyone to like watch over me really was really bad for me. I realized that I need those as you said earlier, we need those external forces, that pressure, to kind of push us to be in that right direction. Even if we don't like it, it does help. When I was in freshman year, I was rooming with a high school friend, and that was all good enough. I also met like a couple of really good friends that live right across from me, and I still talk to one of them a lot to this day. So I was definitely meeting friends, and looking back at it, I would say now that I don't think I had issues making friends, but I think being away from home and like just having no structure and no external pressure for me to kind of keep myself in check was really tough on me. Another thing was when I started college, well actually end of high school to start at college, my parents were also going through a divorce. It was tough for me to be away from home every single day and be concerned for my mother's safety.
Right.
At the time, my dad had just moved out because of a restraining order, but I don't know, the way he was talking at the time, I just didn't feel safe trusting him to stay away from my family home. To this day, I still have no idea if he ever came back. He would like kind of call me during freshman year and ask me where I'm at, and then I was kind of like hesitant to tell him that I was not at home.
Because you don't want.
Because then he would start saying things like, oh, so your mom's at home by herself? And like, oh, no, actually, so and so is over. It's not true. But I didn't want him to go over.
No, for real. No, of course.
That was definitely tough on me. So I was definitely very distracted when I first started college. I wasn't paying attention to, when people said, don't skip class. Things like that. Very simple things.
I mean, that's a lot to really deal with as a freshman in college. You know what I mean? Not only were you going through your own struggles, but you also were looking out for your mom, right? So I guess what was the thing that finally let you be like, all right, I can let go and my mom, will be all right?
When the divorce was finalized. That was after... that was the summer after my freshman year. So once that finalized and then sophomore year started, I was like starting to enjoy myself a little bit more.
Okay.
Also freshman year, like I would always try to just like pop back home just to check up. Sophomore year, I did that still, but definitely less. I felt safer about it. I think my brother might have been home at that time, so he was helping out. And then once my dad kind of like calmed down and like stopped talking about my mom and he just like focusing on his own life, I felt so much more comfortable about it. And I was like, okay, now let me get focused. Let me like buckle down. And then it was already too late.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot to go through. And as I'm processing it now, it's just, I know what that's, I feel like I can resonate, not to the same severity, same intensity, but when you are trying to take care of yourself, trying to live your life, but there's so many other things that you need to do, whether that's taking care of your family. Honestly, taking care of your family is really a big thing to like hold on your shoulders, and especially when you feel like you're the one that's the most responsible to do it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way now, a little bit, but that's just because like I haven't really asked like my brother for help when I really should.
I have that same issue.
It's just like, I'm already in too deep at this point. Like I need to just do it on my own. But
Right.
like, no, like me and my brother have a really good relationship, so like I should ask him to do this stuff. But I was really shouldering it a lot, and it took me away from my brand, took me away from work a little bit, and stressed me out. It was hard for me to do other things in life, but family is important to me, so that's why I feel like I just inherently do it. Like,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just really just focus on it.
Yeah.
What other things have kind of helped you? Maybe what other things maybe now? Because obviously with depression, anxiety, like it's always going to be there. What things help you now kind of deal with those certain things?
When I first started my job a couple years ago, I actually got into a habit of telling myself like, good job at the end of each day. I think I have a natural tendency to beat myself up over like the dumbest little things. Not that I think I'm a main character in people's lives, but like I feel like even like the smallest, I'm like, oh my god, that person's gonna be like making fun of me for the rest of their life. So I have to get in the habit of telling myself, good job today, you did your best, and at the end of the day, even if it took you longer than it should have, you helped out a lot of people today. That definitely helps me stay in a positive mindset. Another thing that my girlfriend got me to do a few years ago was not at the end of each night, but at least at the beginning and the end of each week, think about what you're thankful for, what you've done that week, whether it's just like maybe you accomplished something, but maybe you just saw someone that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it's just that you had a good ass meal, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you got some good sleep that week. But also at the end of the week, start thinking about what you're looking forward to for the next week so that you can create that positive mindset and create that positive attitude when you approach it. So for me, like I kind of always try to think about, when I go to like for work, for example, if I go to this office, I get to see these people and they're cool. If I go to this office, I get to see some other people and they're cool too.
Yeah.
Or I'll say like, maybe this week's gonna be really hard. I have a lot of appointments. I have a lot of stuff to get through. But at the end of the week, maybe I'll get to play basketball. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's very simple things that I guess I kind of took for granted.
Yeah.
But verbalizing things in that manner does so much for how you view it when it comes, And then as for like reflecting on your previous week, it creates such a better relationship with those actions when you come across it again.
Yeah.
So let's say I had a really good sleep this week, right? And then I have like 3 more weeks of just being super tired, exhausted. And then on that 4th week, I get really good sleep again. I'm like, man, I needed that. Like I missed that, right?
Yeah. Those are really 2 great exercises, especially when it comes to positivity. I don't think as life goes on, sometimes we get in autopilot mode, so we don't reflect.
Yeah.
And when we don't reflect on maybe the lessons that happen during, let's say
Yeah.
for a week in a time span, or the things that we are super grateful for. Gratuity is such a big thing too. It's
Yeah.
just like when you're in the thick of life and it happens all the time, like I can't say you, it's really hard to be like intentional every day, be at where your feet, because you know the things that you're supposed to do. But if you kind of create that practice of gratuity, in the morning or beginning of the week, and then reflecting on the past week or what you're looking forward to, there's always a sense of like, hey, positivity, and like, there is a lot of life to live still, and a lot of like good things to look forward to. Obviously life will throw you some shit that will obviously bring you down, but at least hey, like how to handle that situation next time, or hey, like I've had a rough couple of days, like what I already know what I'm looking forward to, because I already talked to myself the week before of what I'm going to do next. So I think that's a beautiful cycle of positivity. And yeah, I've been trying to get into like just starting my day with a lot more positivity, because I feel like in my mindset I think of worst case scenarios, and I feel like I do also have like a negative Nancy kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So no, it's tough.
People say I'm pessimistic a lot.
Mm.
I like to say I'm realistic. Like I kind of just prepare myself.
Yeah,
Or-
you don't yeah, you prepare, you prepare for the worst thing. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is, you know what I mean?
And then you're like, if it does happen, then you're better off. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Maybe I am.
It's I understand what you're saying. I really do. Because it's like you want to be prepared for the worst, but you also got to be where your feet are, and really just take in what's it called? And really just be like, hey, like what could go right?
Right.
I think that's the mindset I had to shift. I was like, instead of thinking what could go wrong, like
That's a much better way to think of it.
what could go right, you know what I mean? Because no matter what, that possibility is gonna be there, you know what I mean? Like without a doubt, in anything, any event or any decision that we're gonna make, the best case scenario could happen, but the worst case scenario could happen. But then there's the middle one of like, hey, like this could also
It's just
happen.
gonna happen.
Literally just gonna happen. Just kind of like wrapping up on on anxiety and depression and the experience that you've been through. Anything else, any more lasting words that you wanted to kind of just say on that?
About depression, anxiety.
Yeah, like in your experiences and reflecting on it.
The challenge with depression and anxiety is that it never truly goes away. If it does for you, then I'm very, very happy for you, and you're very, very fortunate. But the reality for a lot of people is that it's something you have to be mindful of. In life, as you said, things are gonna go really good. Things are gonna go really bad sometimes, and you kind of have to get good at accepting when things don't go your way.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of my anxiety stems from things not going my way, right? I don't really think it's worth my time to stress so much about it, but it is worth your time to prepare and say, I'm going through a good stretch of my life right now, and I'm going to be grateful for that.
Yeah.
I think it's more valuable to do that than say, I am in a good stretch of my life right now, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of my life. I want it to be that way.
Yeah.
I want it to be that way for everyone. But if I let my guard down to that, it makes it much more easy for me to slip back in. And the only reason I know that is because it has happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. It's just like, just know life has its up and down like our emotions do. And you just got to take what they say is like 90%, what life is it's 90% of what happens to you, and the 10% is like how you, like what you do, what you do with it. Yeah, how you react. Yeah. Because it's true. It's just like a lot of people can take a certain event or perspective and be like, I'm not talking about something majorly tragic and all that stuff. I'm talking about, the things that we deal with on a daily basis. Like from one person's perspective, they can be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Like this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But this person can be like, oh, like I understand that this is bad right now, but what can I do to kind of get myself back up on the horse or keep moving forward, kind of putting a positive light on it.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think I agree with that. It's like, it's how it really is how we react to life and perspective. I mean, that's the thing with like, me going through my depression anxiety. When I was going through depression anxiety, like I folded. I was just like, I can't move. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, that's how I chose to react at that time. Partially, I would like to say it's involuntarily because of how severe it was at that time. But then I chose, right, to be better, to get myself back to where the pathway of a life that I want to build.
Yeah.
So I think that react portion is where you're very strong-willed in that sense. Yeah.
So I guess my question for you there is, how did you kind of decide like what can you change about your life and what can't you change? I feel like that was such a struggle for me.
Yeah. So what I can't change, when I thought about that, what I can change is family and what they say or how they treat me.
Okay.
I'm more specifically pushing towards like my parents.
Okay.
My brother, like I've had one-on-one conversations with him about, hey, like, this is, you did this is how it makes me feel, whatever. But my mom can be very stubborn about things. So even if I try to be like, hey, like, change it, like, hey, why don't we try changing this? It's like, that's not gonna work. So I'm like, okay, mom, like I'll just, take things like what you say with either with a grain of salt, or I know just not even putting up a fight at that point.
I got you.
In terms of, so I went through a job change last year, and originally I thought I couldn't change that because I had a certain path that I needed to fulfill. Basically, I needed to get to 5 years at that company to reach a certain position level.
Yeah.
Take the bonus, a big bonus of incentive, and then after that, I was like, I'm dipping.
Yeah.
As I was going through my 3rd year, I was super stressed and my mental health was deteriorating. Like to the point where I was even having like some flashback feelings of depression, anxiety, and I was like I'm not going back there anymore.
Yeah.
So in my head it flipped of where I was like, oh, it can't change, to like, wait, like this isn't the only job I have to have. Like I can actually do something about this, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I made that change. Another thing a therapist said to me is like, you don't have to do certain things. Like, well, you don't have to go to work, but you understand that you need that to like survive financially. That's why you choose to go.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you don't have to, get out of bed, but you choose to because you want to experience life.
True.
So I think to answer your question, it's like you have to realize you don't have to do certain things, but because you choose these certain actions is what really changes and alters your life.
Gotcha.
Things you can't change, obviously, I talked about family. I talked about, if we're going the self-image route, I'm talking about looks, like,
I'll never be 6 foot tall.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never be 6'5". But the thing is, I can be buff, so I can change that.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
right.
So that's something I can change.
Yes.
But yeah, man, it comes down to like understanding, like, hey, like, you don't have to do a lot of things in your life, but we choose to because either it's because of survival, or it's because it's something that we truly want to do with ourselves. Kind of your why at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But that's the thing also in your experience, is like, you knew engineering, like you like it, but you're like, like it's just not clicking, you know what I mean? So you had that, you have a choice. We're lucky, we're both lucky to say that we have a choice in certain things, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like you do. When we were growing up, bro, I didn't feel like I had a choice in terms of like, I have to get an A or I fail, you know?
Man, I'll say it does take a long time to realize some of these things. Yeah. What you just said though, that reminded me. I remember I was so obsessed with getting like good grades and like straight A's, obviously, right?
Yeah.
One time in 6th grade, I came home with my report card. It was like straight A pluses and A's.
Yeah.
No, it was straight A pluses and 1 A.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself. I showed my mom. She was so happy for me. I showed my dad, and he's like, "Why do you have an A?"
Why do you have an A? Why do you have an A? That's a crazy thing to
No,
fucking say.
Dad.
I don't
Why do
know.
you smoke cigarettes? Maybe I'm suffocating.
There you go. That plus. Wow. Why do you have an A is a crazy thing to hear.
Yeah.
But it really is just like,
But like after you hear that, like, where's your motivation gonna go, right?
yeah, no, seriously. But when you reflect as an adult, you're like, that was so fucking stupid. Like, why did I worry about that so much? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's crazy. That's a quote that will go down in history. Why do you have an A? That's nuts. I don't know, because I did a good job. How about that?
Still pretty fucking good.
Oh shit. But yeah, man. No, I feel for you again. Like, I just want to say, like, you know, you worked hard up until this point, and you are enough, and I'm glad that you are here and, you know, spreading joy and positivity to not only me, but I know, you know, whenever some friends see you, you know, we're like, why are you so sexy? So, you know.
Yeah, man, I shaved for you today.
Yeah, I appreciate you. All right, man, let's take a quick break. We're right back. All right, Kev. So I want to get into basically when I asked you what message you wanted to send to the viewers of the pod, I want to get your thoughts and just your expansion of it. So I'm going to read what you said. So you said, when I asked, what is a message you want to send to listeners of the podcast? You said, being the best version of yourself isn't about constantly upgrading or fixing who you are. It's about learning how to find home in yourself. It's being honest about where you are, taking care of your energy, and showing up in ways that feel true even when things aren't perfect. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I think the inner child in me really resonated with it, because I wanted to hear something like that. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't need to keep upgrading and always be trying to improve myself, that I could actually use some time to just be with myself and accept who I am. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people can honestly feel like that's a message that they probably needed to hear. So I just want to get your thoughts on why you put that message, why you want to put that message out, and kind of just expand on it a little bit.
No problem. I want to start off by saying I'm glad that it resonated with you. That's a large part of why I wanted to spread that message, is because I also, the inner child in me also wanted to hear that. And I think it's our responsibility now to sort of spread more positive messages downwards. But the main reason I have this sentiment is because as someone who comes from a background of struggles and mental health challenges, we kind of have issues accepting ourselves for who we are. You know, we're always finding flaws in ourselves, and we're saying that, oh, this part of me is not right. It shouldn't be that way. But in reality, like, everyone's different. Everyone has to live their lives a little bit differently. So if you're someone that likes to min-max everything out of life, and you want to be like a multi-billionaire by the age of 35, good for you. You go do that, and you find the ways to improve yourself, and you can find your weaknesses and address those. But for a lot of people out there like me, you have to focus on just being comfortable in your own body first. And I don't mean like just physically your body. I mean, who are you as a person? How do you sound? How do you talk? How do you think of like political matters in the world, right? Mm-hmm. That's such a very basic concept that shows how aware you are. And if you're not aware of your surroundings and yourself, how can you take that step to improve yourself?
Yeah.
You know? So for me, it's not about finding every little thing that could be worked on, but rather finding what things I would like to work on and what things I like about myself. You know, I like that I don't take life that seriously, because I think I'd be pretty miserable if I did take life too seriously.
Yeah.
And that's not something I feel like I have to improve about myself. At times I will buckle down and I'll be serious when I have to, but it's not a flaw in my character, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, definitely not. I
Yeah.
mean, what I kind of took from your expansion of it, it's just like it goes beyond of like, hey, like accept who you are, acceptance of who you are as a person, but it's more of like, hey, like you don't have to just always be working or constantly like working on I'm trying to put this into words, but like basically just like keep looking at the things that are quote unquote wrong with you when there's nothing wrong with you in the first place. It's just you want to work on these things because you want to, not because of external factors that are telling you are not enough, whether that's physically, internally, whatever that is. And I think that's a message that's a good message to put out. Just because of that, I think sometimes people work so hard for money because they want to show everyone that like they have money or something like, or show that success, you know what I mean? When in reality, like you don't have to, like you can accept where you are now. And if you're happy with the money that you have, then, you know, that's good for you. But if you want more, then go after it. But that's because that's what you want to do, not because of someone says something or someone made fun of you, any of that stuff. So
at the end of the day, you have to listen to who you are, you know? I think the rise of social media has definitely affected that. And a lot of people's opinions of themselves and perhaps their mental health as well. There's a lot of content out there that is about being the perfect human, I guess. Which is so ridiculous. Like if I just take myself, for example, there's a lot of things I could work on. But am I going to choose to? No, because it's not relevant to me. Could I train myself to run a marathon within 5 years? Maybe. Do I fucking want to? No. Am I going to? No, because I don't want to.
I feel like a lot of people can resonate with that. But it really just comes down to like the life that you want to build, and don't build it because of someone else. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I really dealt with self-image problems. I feel like when you come from an immigrant family, or maybe this is with Asian Americans, but being the mono-minority was something that I really worked on, you know what I mean? Like always trying to be just like head down, not cause any problems and stuff like that. But it's like, oh, is that really like me in that sense? Like it kind of takes away power of myself.
Or you just conforming, right?
Yeah, exactly. But even from a self-image thing, it's like there are things that people have said to me unintentionally about like how I look physically, and I think that was what built a fire in me to be on my own fitness journey. After thinking about that a little bit more, I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing something for someone else when really I should be doing this for me. Then once that finally happened, I feel like I had a boost in like motivation for the gym and getting there.
That's
so
great.
Again, don't do it for someone else. Do it for you.
You have to find happiness within yourself.
Yes.
That's where it all starts.
Yes.
Your happiness can't derive from other people, especially their opinions.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
If you're someone who is simply just like you just like to make other people laugh and that's how you get your happiness, fine. Go for it. But if you're like just waiting on their opinions of you and like, you know, you're just hopping on trends because other people are, you know, you're not really deriving happiness from yourself.
Yeah.
There's a few people out there who you will do that and you are deriving happiness from yourself. And that's who you are. And I love that for you.
I just want to say before we get into the wrap up stuff, again, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. I know you were nervous coming into this, but honestly, I feel like you did an amazing job. And
sweaty as
I'm sorry. It's hot in here. I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. I think I got to connect with you because we haven't really had a chance to really just talk about our own life stories and stuff like that. So thank you, man. Thank you for telling your story. I know it was probably a lot to like unpack too, or relive some moments. So appreciate you.
Okay. I think what is great about this podcast is the way, like even for you and I, we've crossed paths multiple times, but we've never had a one-on-one, you know, but this podcast, like I feel so comfortable just sharing with you because of Well, one, because of how this podcast is set up.
Yeah,
That is the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
But two, because of the person that you are, Randy, and the way that you have overcome a lot of struggles yourself and are still working through a lot of struggles. The way you ask questions and the way you relate to me is very welcoming. That's the only reason that I was able to talk up here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Seriously, that does. So yeah, let's get into questions from the audience. Someone asked, "How do you get so sexy?"
I recently started Invisalign.
Wait, actually?
I started like last summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say my smile has added 100 points to my sexiness. So thanks to my dentist, my orthodontist.
Does Tina agree too?
She thinks my smile was fine before.
Okay. Nice.
I'm the one that hated it.
That's the right answer, Tina. Right answer. All right, bro. Let's get into song association. This is a game I like to play with my guests. Just kind of get their music taste. I think it's fun too. I always love this game. So basically, I give you a word. You give me a song title, song lyric. What people have been doing lately is taking that song or the word and picking a song that has that type of meaning. So, for example, I gave the word time to someone, and then they chose Intentions by Justin Bieber because you have to be intentional with your time. So I was like, oh, interesting. So the word I'm going to give to you is, I'm going to give you baby.
Baby?
There's a lot of those.
I can only think of Justin Bieber right now. Because you said Justin Bieber.
Shit, I played the seed. Hey, that's fine. Technically, that's the word that you got.
You know what? I'm also thinking of Baby Keem. Baby Keem?
Mm-mm.
He's a rapper. He's very close with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He has I like his tracks. He has a very it feels indie. Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
All right, man. Your turn to give me a word.
A word? Let's go warmth.
Warmth. So that one, I'm definitely going to go for meaning. I just can't think of warmth in a song title or lyric right now. Warmth. I'm so stupid. I got a pocket for the sunshine.
All right, we put the throwbacks.
Yeah, bro, that's the thing that I was like, bro. I was like, that's the first thing that came to my mind in terms of warmth. Unless you want me to sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine."
No, that's for when we go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we'll go to bed. Got it. Oh shit. All right, man. Let's get into the big three questions. These are three questions that I think can leave the final message impact on our viewers.
Sounds good.
And the first question I have for you is, if you could sit down with the younger Kevin, what would you say to him? What would the interaction be like? Just kind of what would that event be like?
I think I would sit 7-year-old me down and say, "Why the do you look so angry?"
Bro, I'm done. I can't anymore. I can't.
Just traumatize myself further.
Traumatize even more. Oh my god.
Not only do your teachers and peers don't think you look nice, future you doesn't think you look nice either.
You're in pre-Invisalign jazz.
Where the f*** your teeth at? Nah.
Oh shit.
I think I would encourage a younger me to start listening more. I think younger me was too much in his own head, and acting like he was too cool to take anyone's advice. And part of that is, I don't know. I guess part of that is definitely me just not believing when people gave me compliments. But if I could go back in time and tell myself, when people are complimenting you, they mean it. Yeah. They're not just trying to be nice to some fucking kid, because you don't matter. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. You don't matter.
That's what you said. You don't matter. Oh shit. Yo, this young 7-year-old is going through a roller coaster of emotions. First, he's like, why the fuck his comment feature, why the fuck do you look so mad? Where are your teeth?
So this Kevin
Listen.
is doomed.
Yeah, no.
I'm fucking with the timeline.
The sacred timeline is definitely off at this point. Oh shit. But no, I think that's a great thing about listening, like actually taking in compliments. I was the same too. Like when people would be like, oh, like you're cute or anything like that, I would be like, yeah, no.
What do you want from me? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, weirdo.
Weirdo. Honestly, I'm still traumatized from this one event.
What happened?
Maybe that's why my self-image is so low, or why I think of myself so low.
As a
Anyways,
kid?
this was in high school. Quick story, quick tangent. Sorry. Usually this is like the deeper meeting part, whatever. Basically, me and this guy both like this girl in high school, and she created like a pros and cons list for me and for the other guy. Oh, it gets worse. I had more pros, and I still lost.
What?
Yeah.
You had more pros and you still lost?
Yeah. I think that was probably a good thing for me because that girl was probably like, I need a guy with a lot of red flags. And let me tell you, that ain't that guy.
You're fucking too good for it.
Yeah. So maybe I dodged a bullet.
That's wild, bro. That was in high school, you said?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm definitely I think I'm definitely traumatized about my self-image forever.
I mean, my main issue with that is it feels like that should have happened in middle school.
Yeah, I know. I can hear you on that one. Like pros and cons list. But yeah, my friend was telling me about it. He was like, oh yeah, but you have a lot more pros. I was like, oh okay. So why don't I have a text now? He's like, she went with the other guy. And I was like, make that make sense to me. He's like,
I just want to know her reasoning. Like, to go through all the effort of making out the list, end up with more pros on one, and then choose the other. Why make just choose?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, the list definitely was just didn't make sense.
It's just
at
like
all.
rubbing salt in the wound.
I know, literally. Anyways, past my traumas. The second question I have for you is, what does becoming the highest version of yourself mean to you, and how are you doing that today?
I think the highest version of myself is just being comfortable. You know, as I mentioned earlier, I don't view myself as a person who thinks I need to be perfect in every aspect of my life. I just want to be comfortable in myself and knowing that other people accept me and that they accept me in the way that I accept myself. So the way that I encourage people to do that for themselves is at the end of each day, like I said earlier, say something you're thankful for, but also if someone gave you a compliment that day, think about it, man. Because you deserved it. You know, you should allow yourself to feel giddy from it. You know, like, oh, someone liked my shirt today. I have good fashion. You know, shit like that. It's very, to me, it's very simple and basic things that anyone and everyone should do. And it makes such a positive impact on your life. And just little things like that, for me, is honestly good enough to be like my main goal in life. But for other people, that could just be your baby steps to, you know, finding what your best version of yourself is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, that was beautiful. Well said.
You are too.
Oh, thanks. Guys, this is when we start getting really comfortable. All right, guys, if you liked any part of this episode, clip it. Please tag me and Kevin in it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And as always, let's fall in love with the process of getting better every day and becoming the highest version of ourselves. Love y'all.
Word up.